how much they feel because this person may have crossed a line inside themselves without meaning to. What may have started as interest, curiosity, comfort, or simple attraction has become something far deeper than they know how to manage calmly. And now, instead of feeling powerful in it, they may feel exposed by it. This is not the energy of someone who is cold. It is the energy of someone who is shaken by love. The first card opening this reading is the Eight of Swords. This card says their mind may be trapped around what they feel for you, they may think about you. Then stop themselves. Imagine speaking, then panic. Feel the urge to come closer, then pull back because the truth feels too vulnerable once it reaches the surface. The Eight of Swords is not lack of emotion, it is emotion meeting fear. So if they seem distant, hard to read, or strangely quiet after moments of closeness, it may be because your presence stirs something bigger than they expected. The next card appearing here is the Moon. The Moon says their emotional world may be much deeper than what they show. There may be longing here, confusion here, desire here, not because the love is false, but because it has become so real that they do not yet know how to carry it in daylight. They are protecting the fact that someone matters, that someone may be you. The next card rising here is the King of Cups. Because the King of Cups feels deeply, quietly, fully. He may not reveal everything at once, but what he carries is real. This person may already know on some inner level that their feelings for you are not small anymore. They may care more than they plan to, want more than they meant to, need your presence more than feels comfortable to admit. And that may be exactly why fear is so present. Because once a person realizes they are in love, the heart is no longer protected by pretending. The next card appearing here is the Page of Cups. This card shows the softer side of their fear. They may want to say something, they may want to reach, they may want to let you see the sweetness in what they feel. But the Page of Cups is tender, shy, almost uncertain of how to carry such honest emotion without feeling exposed. So this person may have small openings in them. Moments where the heart almost speaks, moments where they nearly text, nearly say too much, nearly let you see how much your energy affects them. Then fear rises and they pull back again. The next card appearing here is the Lovers. And this is where the truth becomes impossible to reduce. Because the Lover says this is not only attraction, not only curiosity, not only emotional comfort. This is connection with weight. This person may feel that you matter in a life-changing way. That being near you feels different, that the bond carries emotional meaning they cannot replace easily. And when a person realizes that another soul has reached them that deeply, it can be beautiful, but also terrifying. The next card appearing here is the Nine of Wands. This tells me they may be guarded now, not because the love is weak, but because the love has made them more emotionally aware of their own vulnerability. The Nine of Wands is someone trying to stay strong while carrying a lot inside. So they may seem careful, hesitant, defensive at moments, like someone who wants closeness but is bracing for what closeness could open in them. That is what fear often looks like when love is real. The final card appearing here is the Ace of Cups, and this is the blessing over the entire message because the Ace of Cups says the feeling is alive, overflowing, growing, wanting to be expressed. So the message of this reading is clear. This person is scared because they are in love with you, not lightly, not halfway, not in some playful little surface level way. This is the kind of feeling that unsettles a person because it changes their inner world. It makes them care more than they planned to. It makes your silence matter. It makes your presence linger. It makes the heart start whispering things the mind is not ready to say out loud yet. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may be frightening them is that you do not feel temporary to their soul. You may feel important, deep. Like the kind of person who could change the emotional direction of their life if they let you all the way in. And that is why the energy around them may feel unsteady. Not because the love is uncertain, but because it is certain enough to shake them. Your intuition may already know this. You may have felt the pauses, the tension, the moments where the heart seems present. But voice becomes careful because fear and love are standing in the same room here, but love is the stronger one. A quieter truth opens here, and it feels like the fear is no longer only about being rejected. It is about being seen. Because once a person realizes they are truly in love, they also realize they can no longer hide behind charm, distance, or small talk the same way. Love strips away easy masks. It reveals need. It reveals tenderness. It reveals how deeply another person can affect the inner world, and that may be exactly what is happening here. The first card appearing now is the High Priestess. This card says so much is being carried in silence. This person may not be speaking openly, but the feeling is alive in the spaces between words, in the pauses, in the glances. In the moments where their energy changes around you for reasons they cannot easily explain. The High Priestess is hidden depth. It is the truth felt before it is confessed. So while they may not be giving you a loud declaration yet, their soul may already know exactly how serious this has become. The next card appearing here is the Four of Pentacles. This tells me they're holding on tightly to the connection, to their feelings, to the control they are trying not to lose. The Four of Pentacles often appears when someone is afraid that once they let themselves admit how much another person matters, everything inside them will shift too much. So they grip, they contain, they say less than they feel, but holding on this tightly also tells us something very important. They are not letting go. The next card appearing here is the Page of Swords. This card says their attention is still on you quietly, repeatedly. They may notice little things about you and remember them later. They may replay conversations. They may wonder what you are feeling, what you are thinking, whether you already know the effect you have on them. The Page of Swords is curiosity mixed with emotional tension. It is someone who watches because the heart is involved. The next card appearing here is the Seven of Cups. Now we see how much imagination is part of this. This person may drift into thoughts of you often. They may picture moments with you, closeness, but the Seven of Cups also shows why fear stays mixed in with the love, because when feelings live in imagination for too long, they can become overwhelming. They begin to feel bigger, riskier, more life-changing. And this person may already sense that if they fully step into what they feel, the connection may become something they cannot treat lightly anymore. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. And this is where the reading becomes so tender, because under all the fear, the heart still wants to move towards you. The Knight of Cups is emotional honesty trying to find courage, a wish to speak, a wish to soften, a wish to let the truth be known in a beautiful way. So even if fear has slowed them down, it has not erased the longing. They may still dream of the moment where they say something real, and you finally see what has been living underneath. The next card appearing here is Strength. This is important, because Strength says they are trying hard to manage what they feel. They may be calming themselves, stopping themselves, holding their emotions with both hands so they do not spill out too suddenly. But strength is not emptiness. It is controlled intensity. It is desire, tenderness, and vulnerability being held in place by effort. So if they seem composed, that composure may be costing them more than you realize. The final card appearing here is the Sunday, and this is the beautiful truth at the center of everything. Beneath all the fear, this love is real, warm, clear. Alive, your energy may still brighten something in them, make them feel softer, happier, more emotionally awake. The Sunday says the reason they are scared is not because this connection feels wrong, it is because it feels right enough to matter. So the message of this part is very clear. This person is not scared because they do not care. They are scared because they care too much to stay untouched. They may be holding in feelings that already feel life-changing, holding in words that already want to rise, holding in a truth that may be very close to asking for light. And there is one more layer here too. Part of what may be making them so careful is that love with you may not feel casual to them at all. It may feel sacred, like something they do not want to mishandle, like something they cannot see where it goes without realizing their own heart is already far ahead of that. That kind of awareness can make a person slow down, tremble, and become more guarded than they ever expected. But it does not make the love smaller. It makes it deeper. And if your intuition keeps telling you that their silence holds feeling, trust that, because the cards are showing someone whose heart is no longer safe from you. even if their voice is still learning how to tell truth. A deeper layer opens here, and this is where the fear begins telling the truth about the love, because people do not become this careful, this watchful, this emotionally unsettled over something small. They become this way when the heart has gone further than the mind feels prepared for. And that may be exactly what is happening with this person. The first card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This card says the bond itself is real in their spirit, not imagined, not one-sided in the emotional field. The Two of Cups is connection that feels meaningful, mutual in energy, and impossible to reduce into something casual. So when they are near you, or even when they think about you from a distance, there may be a deep sense inside them that this is not just a crush. It is something that touches the heart in a very personal way. The next card appearing here is the Hermit. This tells me they may be processing everything in private, thinking deeply, reflecting quietly, trying to understand why your presence has become so important to them. The Hermit often appears when a person feels something profound but does not yet know how to reveal it without feeling exposed. So they may step back at times, go quiet, seem harder to reach. But that quiet may be full of thought, not emptiness. The next card appearing here is the Nine of Swords. Now we see how much this affects them mentally. They may overthink your words, replay moments, wonder what you feel, imagine saying something honest, then panic at the thought of being vulnerable. The Nine of Swords is the card of sleepless emotion, the kind that lingers in the chest and mind long after everything else gets quiet. This person may be carrying that kind of pressure now. The next card appearing here is the Page of Cups. This is where the heart becomes very soft, because under the fear, there is a wish to be open with you, a wish to say something sweet, a wish to let the hidden feelings show, even if only a little. The Page of Cups is shy truth. It is the heart trying to peek through the door before it is fully brave enough to walk outside. So this person may have small moments where they almost say it, almost reveal it, almost let you see more than they intended. The next card appearing here is the Devil. This is not here to say something dark. It is here to say something intense, because this person may feel pulled towards you in a way that is hard to control. You may stay on their mind, in their body, in their emotions. The Devil here feels like emotional fixation. The more they try to calm down, the more the bond may keep returning to the center of their attention. And that can scare someone when the feeling already feels too strong. The next card appearing here is the Queen of Cups. This adds a beautiful softness to everything, because even while they feel overwhelmed, they may also feel tenderness towards you. Care, emotional respect. They may think about your heart more than you realize. They may want to protect the bond instead of disturbing it with clumsy timing or confused words. This is one reason they may hesitate, not because they do not feel enough, but because they feel enough to be careful. The final card appearing here is the Ace of Cups, and this is the clearest truth of all. The feeling is alive, growing, overflowing. This person is scared because what they feel is becoming too full to keep hidden the old way. Love has moved past the stage of being easy to ignore. It may already be asking for expression, for honesty, for some kind of opening between you. So the message of this part is very clear. This person is not afraid because the bond is weak. They are afraid because the bond is strong. They are not nervous because they feel nothing. They are nervous because they may already know that once the truth comes out, nothing inside them will feel casual anymore. And there is one more layer here too. Part of what may be shaking them is the realization that you could matter for a long time. Not just for a moment, not just for a season. Real love frightens people when it arrives with that kind of depth, because it asks them to become emotionally honest in ways they may not have practiced before. But the cards say the love is still stronger than the silence. And even now, while fear is holding their voice back, their heart may already be leaning towards you more than they know how to stop. They may act careful. They may act careful. They may act slower than the feeling really is. They may try to keep everything looking calm on the outside, but inside, the truth may already be very simple. You matter, you move them, you make the heart feel open and unsafe at the same time. And that is why this energy feels so delicate, because some people are not frightened by love that is light. They are frightened by love that could change their life. And this one may already know that loving you has that kind of power very much. And this is the part where the heart is no longer asking whether the feeling is real. It knows what it does not yet know is how to carry something this deep without feeling undone by it, because love can feel beautiful, but when it reaches a certain depth, it can also make a person feel exposed in ways they never expected. The first card appearing here is the Hanged Man. This card says they may feel suspended inside their own emotions, wanting to move, but pausing, wanting to speak, but holding back, wanting to come closer, but feeling caught between desire and fear. The Hanged Man is not the card of no feeling. It is the card of delayed feeling, feeling that has become so meaningful that the person carrying it almost freezes under the weight of what it could change. So if this person seems still, it may not be because their heart is quiet, it may be because their heart is too full to move carelessly. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Cups. This is what makes the reading so tender, because underneath all the nervousness, this person may already feel a kind of emotional fullness with you that scares them precisely because it feels so beautiful. So part of what may frighten them is not only losing you, it is realizing how much joy your presence already brings into their inner world. The next card appearing here is the Seven of Swords. Now we see the self-protection. They may still hide parts of what they feel, not because they want to deceive you, but because they are not yet sure how to stand openly inside a love that feels this vulnerable. The Seven of Swords here feels like emotional concealment, smiling while the heart shakes, acting casual while the mind races, holding back words, because once those words are said, the truth becomes impossible to take back. And that may be terrifying to them. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. This tells me the heart still wants to move towards you, even with all the fear, even with all the uncertainty. The Knight of Cups is the romantic impulse that keeps returning, the wish to speak softly, to reveal truth with tenderness, to cross the distance not with force but with sincerity. So even if they pull back at times, another part of them keeps leaning in again. That is important because it says fear has not stopped the love. It has only slowed the pace of its expression. The next card appearing here is the Four of Swords. This card says they may be retreating into silence to understand themselves, resting with the feeling. Trying to calm the inner storm, the Four of Swords often appears when a person needs stillness because too much is happening emotionally at once. So the quiet around them may be less about absence and more about processing. They may be trying to make peace with the fact that this connection has gone far beyond what they once thought it would become. The next card appearing here is the Star. And this is beautiful because it says the fear is not the only thing present. Hope is here too, a deep, quiet hope that what they feel is not arriving for no reason. Hope that your bond can hold the truth if it is finally spoken. Hope that love does not have to destroy them to transform them. The Star says they may feel that your energy is healing, and that is one reason the love has become so powerful. You may feel like peace to them, and peace can feel very precious when a person has lived too long inside inner noise. The final card appearing here is the Ace of Cups. The love is alive, overflowing, becoming harder to contain with every passing moment. So the message of this part is very clear. This person is scared because loving you has become something they can no longer call small, simple, or temporary. The feeling has grown roots, it has grown depth, it has grown hope. And now the heart may already know that once it speaks honestly, life inside them will never feel the same again. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may be making them so careful is that they do not want to mishandle something this meaningful. They may know deep inside that what lives between you is delicate in the most sacred way, not weak, sacred, the kind of bond that deserves truth, timing, and tenderness. That is why the fear feels so alive. Because the love is no longer abstract. It is personal, it is real, and it is asking them to become braver than they have had to be before. So if your intuition has been telling you that their silence is not emptiness, trust that. The silence is full, full of feeling, full of thought, full of a heart that is learning how to hold love this deep without breaking open all at once. But sooner or later, love like this asks for daylight. And when it does, the fear may finally have to step aside because the heart will want you to know just how much you changed it. A deeper confession is moving through this part of the reading, and it feels like the heart is getting tired of hiding behind caution. because there is only so long a person can keep saying, I'll stay calm, I'll stay quiet, I'll keep this under control, when love has already started filling every corner of their inner world. And that is exactly what this feels like now. The first card appearing here is the Nine of Cups. This card says your energy may already feel like emotional happiness to them. Not in a small way, not in a temporary way. You may be the thought that softens their mood, the person whose name changes the feeling of the day, the one they remember and instantly feel warmth around. That kind of emotional brightness can be very scary when someone realizes how much power another person has to touch their heart without even trying. The next card appearing here is the Five of Pentacles. Now we see the fear more clearly because part of what may be frightening them is the possibility of distance, the possibility of losing access to your warmth. The possibility that if they do not handle this carefully, they could end up standing outside something precious. The Five of Pentacles is the ache of imagining absence before it happens. So yes, their love may be real, but so is their fear of losing what matters. The next card appearing here is the Page of Cups. This is the softer pulse inside them. The part that wants to reach out. The part that wants to say something sweet, simple, and honest. The part that almost opens the door, almost lets the truth step out. The Page of Cups is shy emotional honesty. It is the heart trying to trust that tenderness will not be punished. So if they have had little moments where they almost say more than they planned, this card explains why. The next card appearing here is the Devil. And this tells us the bond may be affecting them very strongly. You may stay in their thoughts, in their body, in the private spaces of imagination and longing. They may try to calm the intensity down and instead find themselves feeling you even more. The Devil here does not erase the love. It shows how consuming the love has become. They may feel pulled toward you in a way that is difficult to resist and difficult to explain. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. This is the proof that beneath all the fear, the emotion is deep, mature, and real. The King of Cups does not feel lightly. He feels with devotion. He feels with weight. So this person may already know that what they carry for you is not a passing wave. It has roots. It has meaning. It has reached a level where silence no longer feels honest, only protective. The next card appearing here is Temperance. This is beautiful because it says the love itself may feel healing to them, even while it scares them. You may represent peace. Balance, the possibility of a connection that is both deep and safe. That can be one of the most frightening things for a heart that is not used to being met so fully. Sometimes people are not afraid of chaos. They are afraid of tenderness that feels real enough to change them. The final card appearing here is the Ace of Cups, and this is the overflowing truth. The feeling is not shrinking. It is not fading. It is not becoming easier to ignore. It is rising. So the message of this part is very clear. This person is scared because they are in love with you, and the love has become too real to keep calling it anything else. They may be frightened by how much you matter, by how much your presence affects them, by how deeply the bond has entered their emotional world. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may be overwhelming them is that love with you does not feel shallow enough to recover from easily if it goes wrong. It feels important. It feels rare. It feels like the kind of connection that could stay in the soul for a long time. That is why fear keeps walking beside love here. Because the heart already knows the stakes are high, but the cards also say something hopeful. Fear may still be present, but it is no longer stronger than the feeling. And that matters because once love grows this full inside a person, it does not stay hidden forever. It begins pressing toward expression. It begins asking for courage. It begins asking the person who feels it to stop protecting themselves from the very truth that could change their life. So if they seem careful, guarded, slow, remember this. Some of the deepest love arrives trembling, not because it is weak, because it is powerful enough to shake the person carrying it. And this love may already be doing exactly that very deeply. Inside them now, they may not have right words yet, but the heart already knows. And when the heart knows this much, it keeps moving even through fear. Slowly, carefully, but still towards you, that movement has begun. And now everything gathers here. And the final truth of this reading feels impossible to deny. This person is scared, yes, but not because the feeling is weak, not because it is uncertain, not because it is fading. They are scared because love has already reached a place inside them that feels life-changing. The first card appearing here is the Lovers. This card says the bond is no longer something they can explain away as simple attraction or passing affection. The Lovers is real heart recognition. It is the moment when a person knows that another soul matters in a deep, undeniable way. So when they think about you now, they may not only feel drawn, they may feel chosen from the inside out. They may feel that this connection has entered the part of life that can no longer be treated casually. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. This tells me the love is deep, steady, and very real, even if they do not always show it well, even if they stay guarded, even if they seem quiet or controlled. The feeling underneath is strong. The King of Cups does not carry shallow emotion. He carries devotion. He carries care. So if this person is frightened, it may be because they already know their heart is fully involved. The next card appearing here is the Moon. And yes, this says there is still hidden emotion. Fear still walks beside the love. There may still be uncertainty about timing, vulnerability, and what happens once the truth is spoken. They may wonder if you feel the same. They may wonder if saying too much will leave them exposed. The Moon says their heart may already know the truth, while their mind is still trembling in front of it. The next card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This is beautiful because it confirms again that what exists here is not one-sided fantasy. It is a real emotional bond, a feeling of being met, understood, drawn in. So part of what scares them may be how natural this connection feels, how easy it is to care, how deeply they can imagine you in their life. Some people are not frightened by unstable love. They are frightened by the kind that feels real enough to matter. The next card appearing here is the Nine of Swords. Now we see how much this weighs on them. Late thoughts, replayed moments. Imagine conversations. The heart may keep returning to you when everything else gets quiet. They may try to sleep and end up thinking about what they should say. The Nine of Swords says this love is not resting peacefully inside them. It is asking to be acknowledged. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. And this is the part that changes everything, because even with fear, the heart still wants to move toward you. The Knight of Cups is emotional courage beginning to rise, the wish to speak, the wish to soften the distance, the wish to let love become something visible instead of something hidden and painful. So if this person has been slow, it may not be because they do not want to come closer. It may be because coming closer means risking the truth, and they already know the truth is huge. The final card appearing here is the Sunday, because the Sunday says the truth is simple. They love you deeply, truly, more than they feel safe admitting, and that is why the fear exists. There's one more layer here too. Part of what may be overwhelming them is that you do not feel temporary in their soul. You may feel important, lasting, like the kind of person who could become part of the center of their life instead of a passing chapter. That kind of love makes a person face themselves, face their fears, face their need. So the message of this final part is very clear. This person is scared because they are in love with you, not lightly, not halfway, not in some passing, uncertain way. This love has already gone deeper than that. And if you have been feeling the tension, the hesitation, the tremble in their energy, trust what you feel, because the cards are not showing a heart that wants to leave. They are showing a heart that is afraid of how much it wants to stay. And sooner or later, love this real asks to be spoken. It asks to be trusted. It asks to be shown. It asks the person carrying it to stop hiding behind fear and finally admit, you matter to me. I feel this deeply. I am scared because I love you. That is the truth here. And even now, while they are still learning how to hold that truth, the love itself is already stronger than the fear, stronger than the silence, stronger than the doubt, stronger than every excuse meant to keep the heart protected. So if your spirit has been whispering that this person's feelings are much bigger than they look, believe it, because this is not a weak love. This is a trembling love, a shy love, a serious love, a love that has already entered the soul and may be getting closer every day to finally stepping into the light. Is the Lovers. This card says the bond is no longer something they can explain away as simple attraction or passing affection. The Lovers is real heart recognition. It is the moment when a person knows that another soul matters in a deep, undeniable way. So when they think about you now, they may not only feel drawn, they may feel chosen from the inside out. They may feel that this connection has entered the part of life that can no longer be treated casually. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. This tells me the love is deep, steady, and very real, even if they do not always show it well, even if they stay guarded, even if they seem quiet or controlled. The feeling underneath is strong. The King of Cups does not carry shallow emotion. He carries devotion. He carries care. So if this person is frightened, it may be because they already know their heart is fully involved. The next card appearing here is the Moon. And yes, this says there is still hidden emotion. Fear still walks beside the love. There may still be uncertainty about timing, vulnerability, and what happens once the truth is spoken. They may wonder if you feel the same. They may wonder if saying too much will leave them exposed. The Moon says their heart may already know the truth, while their mind is still trembling in front of it. The next card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This is beautiful because it confirms again that what exists here is not one-sided fantasy. It is a real emotional bond, a feeling of being met, understood, drawn in. So part of what scares them may be how natural this connection feels, how easy it is to care, how deeply they can imagine you in their life. Some people are not frightened by unstable love. They are frightened by the kind that feels real enough to matter. The next card appearing here is the Nine of Swords. Now we see how much this weighs on them. Late thoughts, replayed moments. Imagine conversations. The heart may keep returning to you when everything else gets quiet. They may try to sleep and end up thinking about what they should say. The Nine of Swords says this love is not resting peacefully inside them. It is asking to be acknowledged. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. And this is the part that changes everything, because even with fear, the heart still wants to move toward you. The Knight of Cups is emotional courage beginning to rise, the wish to speak, the wish to soften the distance, the wish to let love become something visible instead of something hidden and painful. So if this person has been slow, it may not be because they do not want to come closer. It may be because coming closer means risking the truth, and they already know the truth is huge. The final card appearing here is the Sunday, because the Sunday says the truth is simple. They love you deeply, truly, more than they feel safe admitting, and that is why the fear exists. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may be overwhelming them is that you do not feel temporary in their soul. You may feel important, lasting, like the kind of person who could become part of the center of their life instead of a passing chapter. That kind of love makes a person face themselves, face their fears, face their need. So the message of this final part is very clear. This person is scared because they are in love with you, not lightly, not halfway, not in some passing, uncertain way. This love has already gone deeper than that. And if you have been feeling the tension, the hesitation, the tremble in their energy, trust what you feel, because the cards are not showing a heart that wants to leave. They are showing a heart that is afraid of how much it wants to stay. And sooner or later, love this real asks to be spoken. It asks to be trusted. It asks to be shown. It asks the person